Good evening and welcome to Resource PNG. East New Britain Province is the oldest producer of copra in the country and is home to the largest coconut plantations. For tonight's episode, we look at the copra industry in the province, and later we find out more about the Iron Sands project in the Gulf Province. East New Britain is home to over 70,000 men, women and children. It is one of the oldest copra-producing provinces in PNG and perhaps the province with the largest number of coconut plantations.
In the Irabal district, we have nothing. Volcano eruption in 1994 destroyed all the crops, cocoa and coconuts, and we have nothing in place so that it will sustain the livelihood of our people.
The production of copra dates back to pre-colonial days when East New Britain was governed by German administration. During this time, people from other provinces like East Sepik, Madang and the nearby West New Britain province migrated to the former provincial town Rabaul to work on the coconut plantations. In its birth stage, the province has contributed to the economic development of PNG. This included generating income for the national government through exports of copra. It created the income opportunities for locals in all the 4 districts, playing the role of the main employer of the communities.
But there was a study carried out during the restoration program in 1994, where it covered how will best develop the province or restore the province in terms of economic development.
Copra is seen as the income source for locals in East New Britain, but it takes years to grow coconuts. And again, the locals follow a process that takes 3 to 4 days for copra workers to collect coconuts and turn them into their final stage before it will have a similar brown color as shown.
Rabaul district should focus on downstream processing because we don't have any crops in terms of very small copra and cocoa production.
This is Martin Tidal. He comes from Poreratu village in the Rabaul district. He has been working as a copra producer for as long as he remembers. For Martin and his fellow villagers, copra is the only resource found in their district, and it means everything to them. The work of copra takes 3 to 5 days to complete and requires hard work and manpower. It depends also on the weather and how the coconut plantation is taken care of.
Kalau time do work copra, mi bisa ipim pastem. Ipim mo copra, then ipim pastem, then mi plakati one time X. Then mi plakati finish. Puti gonzalo back, soli mi golo aus permanto. Time lo sunny day, sunny hot. Good day lo bani mo cemento, gira lo sunny bani. So sunny no hot too much, puti lo aus permanto.
Despite Rabaul being the largest copra producer in the country, incomes generated from the sale of this produce is still very low. There's an increase in the cost of labor, and much of the time, money earned from the sale of copra is used to pay transportation and other related costs. The production of cocoa in East New Britain has decreased in the last 20 years. Much of the blame can be labelled against the 1994 Rabaul volcanic eruption, which destroyed the entire economy of the province. After the 1994 eruptions, a restoration program was conducted in the Rabaul district to assess the economic damage and recommend solutions to rebuild the economy. Recommendations drawn from this restoration program suggested that the district should engage in downstream processing of cocoa and copra.
And this is the kind of help that the district has been targeting. We want to cut down on the cost of labor, unnecessary labor. Let the machine do it at the milling, the processing plant.
But due to lack of government support, funding and expertise in the province, downstream processing of this produce did not eventuate. In August this year, the Rabaul MP Alan Myrat, when addressing the people of Watom local level government during the commissioning of new copra and cocoa dryers, again challenged the government on when the much talked about downstream processing would eventuate.
Rabaul district should focus on downstream processing because we don't have any crops in terms of very small copra and cocoa production. So we should venture into downstream processing, other small industries related to the port, tourism, geothermal development, and fisheries development. Those are some of the industries that I'm talking about Rabaul district long venture into. And we got potential inside Long Province.
Downstream processing may mean an increase in local produce, employment for the people, and a decrease on importation of the same goods. More of this report after the break. Thanks for staying with us. We continue to look at our report on the copra industry in the East New Britain province. For a province like East New Britain, where coconut plantations cover the entire area, it places the province in a production stage of going into manufacturing oil. The introduction of virgin coconut oil gives Rabaul the title of being the first district in East New Britain to enter into a private-public partnership that involves a locally grown resource. This is a small to medium enterprise and is in line with the government's Vision 2050 to create wealth. The project funding is budgeted for under the Rabaul District Administration and is a perfect example of the public-private partnership of the Triple P.
Me looking more some people now hard work long corporate as only no kissing benefit long en. People work all people is have make him long cut him na transport him na find him DIY long house fireman or drive. Now all work on them. Na time only salim copra. Time only come back long place, you know, got more money, all get the money, go along all these expenses.
The idea of manufacturing virgin coconut oil was initially sparked by Sir Roland Tovu over 4 years ago.
It's me been work long ting long en. That's all accidentally. Me been hari mo same long CCI here long Tavilo. He been work long working this virgin coconut oil. Na me yet me been go na me look long en. Time me find him out or same virgin coconut oil only working long or some old research long en. Na only been work long make him tas only no promote him yet. Me been go come up long on na me talk one time on.
Virgin coconut oil is made from coconuts that are 1 to 2 days old. Any coconut over 3 days old is not considered good for production. Each coconut costs 30 toya, but plans are in place to increase the purchase price to 40 or 50 toya.
It's like brown here, or green liquid. That's the nut we after. That's the best oil. Not when we put down, 1 to 3 days, pigil. But after 3-4 days, I go. I'm play sabe by sleep, galigli kuru by come up. So I'm worried now. So I'm just like me play by not accept him, but all people blame me lo Rabaul district tamol salim lo me play. I'm play by grade mantap. All good play nuts, but me play by buy lo 30 toya. And the reject nuts because only bring pinisi come, but me play by buy lo 20 toya or 15 toya.
This small building houses the machine that manufactures the virgin oil. Once the nuts are purchased from the local copra buyers, this is where they are taken to. Firstly, the nuts are manually rotated by the operators using the deshelling machine to remove the coconut shells. On a daily basis, an average of 360 nuts can be removed in an hour. Once the shells are removed, the inside meat is cut like this. This makes it easier for the second step.
Okay, now this machine, I'll call him long grinder. So you can see they cut the all coconut egg on apple stem. You see, to make it easy, and then you just drop it in that one. You go inside the machine. Looking to by drop him in side. To drop him all up up ko nasa side all kati finish. Now you can look him desiccated. Google camera side na. See the milk? That's the milk coming out, and the waste coming on this side. So the milk, you can see the milk there. 24 hours. So after 24 hours of fermentation, the water settles down below, and oil by float on top. The virgin oil float on top.
The extracted materials are placed in this machine known as the filter machine.
Extracted from the after fermentation goes into this machine. The filtering machine, this one. I'm by off him now. You see the oil? Now you see just clean with some water. That's the oil.
Once the pure oil is collected from this stage, 24 hours are needed for the oil to settle before it can be packed into these containers. The entire process can take up to 20 minutes to complete and another 24 hours for the oil to settle before it can be ready for production. The success of virgin coconut oil depends on the amount of coconuts supplied by locals.
In terms of employment, as I've said, this is a small to medium enterprise. But there are some, about 10 people already being employed now at the initial stage. 10 local, from the local communities around here. And maybe in the future, as the company grows, maybe we'll employ more. And if the other byproducts that we are talking about, they come in, maybe we should have other employees, people hired to work with the company. So the opportunity is there for employment creation. Not only that, indirectly people will be encouraged to regrow more coconut trees to replace the old ones that tubo na belum pelani before.
Rabaul is a historical town with a colourful history. Despite the recent volcanic eruption, it still remains one of the fastest growing economies in PNG. Apart from coconut and cocoa productions, there's huge potential for the province to venture into fisheries and tourism activities. But the introduction of virgin coconut oil is of prime importance to the Rabaul District Administration and its people. It is a pilot project that will need government assistance to expand.
Yeah, we start small, and then as the machine itself, we start small, and then I think I'm thinking belum member people now. Maybe by next year, we should triple the production. By encouraging more people now.
Once the manufacturing of the virgin coconut oil comes into full swing, it'll target the local community, hotels in the province, aid posts and clinics, and the residents of Rabaul town. Virgin coconut oil is a new commodity in PNG, but with proper awareness and constant guidance from the respective authorities, the sale and production of this oil can place PNG on the global market for virgin coconut oil. Resource PNG continues when we return. You're watching Resource PNG. Gulf Province has the potential to be the country's first iron sands mining project. We see how in this next report. Gulf Province is set to be the first in the country to have iron sand mining potential, with the launching of the Gulf Black Sand Project Dialogue in Kerema Town. Maya Resource Company directors, including Rugby League legend Darren Lockyer, after a short dialogue briefing with Gulf provincial executives, were given a tour of the Gulf Provincial Assembly headquarters and then to Kerema High School.
Maya Resources has two new commodities in the Gulf province never before developed. That is iron sands and coal. Iron sands also has other minerals in them, heavy minerals such as zircon. It's quite a good opportunity for the Gulf to look at because there is such a large area of mineralisation. We've conducted some initial scoping studies, conducted some initial exploration and done some laboratory testing. We've got a very good iron grade, grading between 58 and 62% iron, which is comparable to other iron suppliers in the world. We've looked at the coal as well, and the coal has been tested in laboratories, and the coal is comparable to the higher grade Indonesian coals. It has a very low ash and a low sulphur, which is good for the Asian market. So there's a great opportunity for two new bulk commodities within Papua New Guinea. It is at the early stages, it is at a scoping stage, but we will conduct further work. We'll continue to liaise with the Governor of the Gulf and his administration, who is giving us full support, and we will continue to work with them to examine how these two new commodities can be best developed to bring prosperity to the Gulf. There'll be future employment opportunities obviously with that, and there'll be future opportunities for greater economic activity within the Gulf region.
The project is currently undergoing dialogue stage, and the team of Maya Resources will be visiting the Gulf provincial executives over the coming months to have site visits of the potential project and at the same time conduct more dialogue, according to Managing Director of Maya Resources, Paul Mulder.
So Maya Resources within PNG has other interests. It has interests also in various provinces, also in copper gold. They range from the New Ireland province down to the Milne Bay area. Maya Resources personnel have some 30 years of experience in developing these early stage projects and actually bringing these early stage projects through into development. The key with doing that is ensuring that one studies it and ensures that the risks are understood early on. The people are engaged, you get the appropriate support from the administration and government, and in particular we ensure that we're adopting a very lean approach to ensure we start something small scale initially that can ultimately be expanded, which will benefit not only the Gulf province but Papua New Guinea.
Gulf Provincial Governor Havila Kavo stated that the progress of the viability of the project will be made known by the company after they conduct viability studies this year.
We invited them to the province just to show face. At the same time, there are quite work that they're doing along the coastline of Kerema, all the way right down to Iway River, with the finding of some minerals. But it just early works. As soon as they establish the basis of black sand and whatever you call it, they will let us know. And if it's found to be sufficient for production, they will let us know, and that will be another bonus for the people of Gulf Province.
Managing Director Mr. Mulder stated that the Black Sand project will provide many opportunities for the people of Gulf Province. Mr. Mulder further hinted the possibility of downstream processing opportunities if the project studies come into effect to be a fully pledged mine in the future. He further stated that black sand has many uses and that its main market would be the Asian market, of which China has a huge demand for iron sand imports. Mr. Mulder further added they will be frequenting Gulf Province to conduct more studies of the project's viability and will update of its success in due course. The company has other mining tenements in the country and is exploring opportunities in gold and copper projects around the country as well.
See, in relation to downstream processing, this is still being examined. Obviously with the possession of iron and also coal in the Gulf, there is an opportunity to look at future steel and iron making in combining those two. The benefit that the Gulf Province has and the tenure that Maya Resources holds is that the coal and the iron are close to the coast. and exist next to each other, which is a fairly unique opportunity, and it's a fairly unique type of deposit. You don't find very many of those in the world where iron and coal coexist together. So there will be an opportunity for us to look at that. We've started our initial trials and tests. That'll take for the next 12 months or so, really to get a good understanding of whether iron and steel making is possible within the Gulf.
Mr. Mulder stated that iron and coal are two new commodities that have never been developed in the country so far. He further added that iron sands are a good opportunity for Gulf Province to venture into, since it has a large area of mineralization. Mr. Mulder said that the company had conducted initial exploration and had done further laboratory tests on the iron sand samples that have come with very good iron grades between 58 to 62% iron, which is comparable to other iron suppliers in the world.
So iron sands typically would be used in steel making, and iron sands can be used in blast furnaces, it can be used in electric arc furnaces. The utilisation of those of that product in steel making or iron making essentially moves down into steel that is formed into coils, slabs or plate, and they can be used for things like, if you look at plate, that's actually used for gas pipelines. If you look at hot rolled steel can be used for a variety of fabrications. Ultimately, if you have a look at an aluminium can that you drink out of, that's originally come from steel making. So steel obviously supports the backbone of any infrastructure development, be it roads, bridges, buildings. It has actually been fundamental to China. China could not have expanded without the availability of steel, which comes from iron ore or iron sands. Iron sands is a relatively new commodity being used for steel, but because it can be extracted at a very competitive rate, it is gaining more prominence. In coal can be exported and used. The type of coal that is in the Gulf Province is thermal coal. Thermal coal is used for electricity generation. Electricity generation, again, power, similarly to PNG, but in Asia, power fuels the development of economies. Without reliable, cheap power, economies do not develop. So again, the use of coal can be used internationally, but also can be used also in PNG.
Mr. Mulder further added that they had done initial testing on the coal and found out that it was comparable to the high-grade coal being mined currently in Indonesia.
We're here because we believe, a good opportunity to explore and understand if there is these black sands that are called iron sands. These iron sands potentially may be used at a future point in Asia for steel making. It is very early stage, and as the Governor said, when we've done further investigation, we will then get a better understanding of the quality and the total amount that exists. So once we do understand that, we'll be sure to communicate with the administration, with the Governor and with yourselves. You will see more of us. We will be coming here more regularly in the area of the Gulf. We will be conducting some exploration activities. And again, we thank you very much for letting us into your region, letting us onto your land. It is your land, and we feel very privileged. Thank you very much.
That ends another edition of Resource PNG. If you have any comments or queries, do email us on this address, resourcepng@mtv.com.pg, or to find out more, check MTV online, that's www.mtv.com.pg, and go to our Resource PNG page. Or you can check our page on Facebook. Until the same time next week, bye for now.